It's hard to imagine that the artist you're about to meet at one time had dreams of becoming a corporate lawyer. But lucky for her and for us, fate stepped in and guided her down the path to becoming one of the most authentic, honest, and talented singers, songwriters, and musicians around. I'm the Lady DJ, and I welcome you once again inside the VIP room. This is the Soul Lounge, and I am proud to introduce you to Miss Avery Sunshine.
I'm leaning on my window pane, ready to holler out my name, wanting the world to hear my voice, 'cause I finally made a conscious choice. Now I know why I am here. Joy and love replace my fears. I'm holding on to my bootstraps. I'm not afraid to say that I'm so proud of me. I'm gonna shine, shine, shine. I'm right where I should be. I'm gonna shine, shine, shine. I hope that you will see, yeah, 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 that you got shine, shine, shine. Somebody say shine, shine, say shine, shine, shine. Hey. Living to love and loving life. Oh, worry won't be my 9 to 5. No, 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 no. I close my eyes and I could see. Yeah. Oh, my eyes wouldn't let me see. No, 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 no. Now I know why I am here. Joy and love replace my fears. I'm holding on to my bootstraps, and I am not afraid to say that I'm so proud of me. I'm gonna shine, shine, shine. Right where I should be. I'm gonna shine, shine, shine. I hope that you will see, yeah, 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 that you got shine, shine, shine. Somebody say shine, hey, shine, say shine, shine, shine. Hey. Now if you're listening or watching, I want you to say something real sweet like this. I want you to say shine, shine, shine. Hey, as bright as I can be. Hey, shine, shine, for the whole world to see. Hey, shine, shine. Everybody say, shine your light on me. Hey, shine your light on me. I need you, I need you, I need you. Hey, just like you need me. One more time, say shine, 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 shine. Oh, shine, 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 shine. Hey, shine, shine, shine. One more time, say shine your light on me. Hey, shine your light on me. Say shine, 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 shine.
Avery Sunshine,
Hey, Shauna.
welcome.
Thank you, honey.
You know, we had to bring you into the auditorium. See, we have to have the big room for the big voices.
Oh, come
You know what I
on. That
mean?
makes me feel good. This is
It should.
amazing.
It should.
This is amazing.
Well,
Thank
I'm
you
so
much.
glad you're here. I am
glad.
so glad. I know that you are really busy. You've been touring like nonstop.
Yes, we're on the perpetual tour.
Yeah.
That's what we call it. So
For what, like 4 years? Because the first time I saw you was 2010.
Since 2010.
Yes, exactly. Well,
Absolutely.
that's a good thing, though, because you get get to see the United States? And I know you do a lot of touring internationally as well.
Yeah. Just this year, Dubai, Amsterdam, and London.
Really?
And we are leaving for Japan soon. So
oh,
just
nice,
this year, so
nice.
That's great.
Japan, actually, speaking of Japan, you have been in and around Japan for a while.
Absolutely.
I was reading that your career kind of kicked off.
Our
in Japan.
first song was released in Japan. It was a house tune. It was called Stalkers. I can't get you out my mind. It had the in that house there. That was the first song we did,
I'm from Detroit, so I love
so you
the
know
house.
what it
I love the house.
is.
Yes, and they love it there too.
Yes.
They love that soulful sound, which you are, you represent,
Thank you so
definitely. The new album, The Sunroom.
The Sunroom.
Yes. Congratulations on the new baby.
Much. Thank you.
Do you consider, like I know artists call the albums babies.
Absolutely.
Is this your baby?
Absolutely. And I think it may have, for us, it came from not being able to, just like your children, you cannot expect from one what you expect from the other. Mm-hmm. And it allows you to be sensitive and gentle with yourself in what you've created.
Yeah.
And not say, well, that first record, see, I need to want to make one like that. You can't make a record like another one any more than you can make another baby like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
There's no way. Okay. So it only makes sense to call them your babies because you love them all the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And put as much love into making them, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, let me just say this to you.
I read between the lines.
This album, okay, so I put it in when I first got it. I put it in and I said, okay, this album reminds me of growing up in Detroit on a Sunday when my mom was kind of, I don't know, cooking dinner and she put her records on.
Great.
It just took me back there instantly.
I love that.
It's just, it was a beautiful, and I guess I have to ask, I assume you were listening to a lot of maybe some of the older, I heard a little Motown, heard a little Al Green. I was like, is that a little Minnie Riperton? Like,
you know what, well, thank you for all those references. We're honored. But it was not intentional to make a record like that.
Okay.
We intended to make music that we liked. And that was it.
Okay.
And so we wrote these songs, and they came out like that. And we were like, hey, that's it.
Yeah.
That'll be that. And what's ironic about it, when you mentioned about, you know, the music that your mom was playing, my mother, she bought a Bose just so she could play. I'm going to put your CD in, Denise. And so she plays it every Sunday. The whole record just back to back. She doesn't put anything else in. It's just that record. The Sunroom. Over and over while she's in the kitchen making greens or whatever she's doing. Yeah. So it's just really interesting. So I'm glad that it, you know, it's not just my mama thinking like that.
No. I'm
glad you felt like that too.
Well, that's what I'm going to do this weekend. And see, and the thing is too, I love it because it's a beautiful combination of everything that one experiences in life. And I read somewhere that you said that was kind of what was behind the whole idea of the Sunroom. Like it represents that place where you can come and talk about everything.
Everything. And you don't have to be specific. There is whatever it is that you feel like talking about or crying about, it's all open.
Yeah.
You know, and in your sunroom, that's your sanctuary. You can talk about it. I say it all the time. Talk about what you want. Be who you want. You want to put a wig on and dance around. And whatever you want to drink tea, you want to drink Hennessy, whatever you want to do in your sunroom, you do that unapologetically. That's your space. And it was really important for Dana and I have to say more so me, to make a record like that. Because I felt like with the second record that we needed to make a record that sounded like stuff we had heard before. And I say that to say, on the radio. Okay. Make a record for the radio. And I was really concerned about, oh my God, that's what we need to do. Because I had a lot of people in my ears after the first record say, hey, now you've done that. People kind of know who you are. You need to make some records for the radio now. I was like, how am I going to do that? I don't know how to do that. I only know how do I do that? And it drove me nuts. And between talking to my partner, Dana, I wish he was sitting up here with me, and some other things that happened, I realized that the only thing you can do is write from that place, your soul. That's it. Yeah. If it makes the radio, great. If it doesn't, great. But it's still soul music, and it's come from here nonetheless. And you know, so that you know, that's the other reason for the sunroom. That's what we were feeling. That was it. And we hope it encourages somebody.
And it's very authentic. One of the things I love about you and a lot of the artists that we've brought here into the Soul Lounge is that they seem to be very honest, and there's a vulnerability in that. And I know that that's a difficult thing for me to express just to the people that I know and love. I can't imagine how difficult it must be to just put it on a CD and then put it out to the rest of the world. You're almost like naked in a sense, emotionally. You feel that?
But I found my liberty in that.
Okay.
And I think my parents were the best examples. And, just kind of watching, they talk about how comedians tend to put everything out. My father was, a comedian that was not paid. So that means nobody knew him, but he was a comedian. And I say that, everything, his hurts, his joys, he joked about everything, but you knew where he was coming from all the time. My mother is the same way. So I grew up in a home where you knew everything about everybody. Okay. It's like, yeah, Denise, I had a drink last week. Yeah, my father even told me. He was like, I ain't going to share it now. He shared some stuff. I was like, you don't have to tell me that. But we practiced talking. We practiced getting it out all the time. So I actually have to practice not saying too much.
Okay.
Because I don't mind, my ex-husband, he came to one of my shows recently, and he came to one of the shows, and he called me later. He said, I really don't appreciate the way you portray me at your shows. I was like, shut up. And I did apologize to him. I said, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I hope that my truth is not stepping on your toes. I apologize for that. And I said, no, it may come out like that every so often, but it's coming from a real place. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned your songwriting partner.
Yes, Dana Johnson.
Big Dane.
Big Dane.
All
yes.
right. So he writes with you.
He writes with me.
How does that process work? Is he the one responsible for reeling you in, or?
No. Okay. I don't listen to him. He'll say that too. If he was in, he'd be like, she never. No, that's not true. I think yes, I tend to be the one that has to be reeled in.
Okay.
I think. But it depends. Sometimes, Dana will write a whole song. Mm-hmm. Like the song Call My Name we're going to do. Dana, he actually called me with this idea over the phone. And I was like, stop. Let me record it. I put it into GarageBand over the phone. And I wrote the lyrics almost immediately. Stalker, the one that I played earlier, that was me. And I was like, Dana, I've got these chords, and then what are you going to do? He wrote the lyrics in no time. Some songs either of us get, maybe the whole song or whatever, but he might do the reeling in. I think it might be him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It might be him.
Maybe after this we'll ask him.
Yeah, we'll
see
ask
what he
him.
says.
We'll ask him.
So you mentioned GarageBand, which is software that a lot of musicians use. It's part of this new technology that is so prevalent in music. But obviously, you are also a musician.
Yes.
So do you prefer to write like this in front of the piano, sitting at the piano, versus using the technology?
Absolutely. There is something that every piano has its own identity and its own spirit. And I feel like every instrument does. And it will dictate the song all in my head. I wrote it on the piano. It felt... that particular piano dictated, I know that sounds so strange, but it dictated those chords to me. Okay. A song from our first record called Ugly Part of Me, I played it. Now that was on a keyboard, but the keyboard dictated these chords to me. The keyboard did that. So different instruments, if I could play the guitar or the flute or something, y'all could forget it.
Yeah.
I'd be doing all kinds of... Let me try
Are you
guitar.
interested in learning? Have you tried?
I tried to do guitar. I feel like I don't have enough brain power or something to do that. I just don't. Okay. I don't. Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah. How long have you been playing the piano?
Since I was 8, so about 31 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you started. Now, were you self-taught or are you classically trained?
Classically trained.
Okay.
I started reading at 8. I didn't play by ear until I was maybe 12 or 13, and that was because one of my aunties my mother's a beautician and had a beauty salon in the back of the house, and everybody would come. And so our house was always jumping. But at any rate, my Aunt Tootsie, talk about Aunt Tootsie all the time. Aunt Tootsie, she played for the Catholic Church in the city, a bunch of churches in the city, but this particular church, Immaculate Heart of Mary. And she said, you know, Ruth, I think it's time to get Denise over to the church to play. I've got some other stuff to do. So I'm going to leave the book here so she can read it, and then she'll work with the choir. So that was my first church gig. Okay. And I was 13, and service was an hour. I read a couple of tunes, and I taught the choir a song or two, and I made $175 an hour.
Go girl.
Come on.
At 13.
Mess me up. Mess me up.
I'm in the wrong business.
I wasn't going to McDonald's and nothing after that. They could forget it. What? Oh no, I'm gonna be a musician.
Okay, I know that.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how that started. So I had to work on my ear because they were listening to music on the radio and they wanted to sing it on Sunday morning. So, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and so you are one of many artists actually then that started off in the church. And I'm always wondering, what is it about being in the church that influences, well, we talked about what influences your playing, but what about the way you approach the art? Is there a different sense of responsibility?
Absolutely. I think about worship leaders in church for me. And the responsibility of leading and kind of guiding through the service or through that experience. So that's always in my mind as I'm creating and working. How am I going to guide the people through this experience? People who are familiar with music, people who are not, people who are familiar with my music, who are not. How I have a responsibility. I can't just throw it out there and just say, take it. I've got to figure out how to cut through. I'm always thinking about that. Even, you know, we were performing today, I was like, I don't know which songs I'm going to do. I have to feel it and feel how I'm, you know, sometimes that can be, you know, a hindrance. It irritates Dana to no end because I'll change a set. Just like, we're not going to do that. We're going to do, the Lord is blessed. He's like, the band doesn't know that. Nobody knows. What are you doing? You know, but that sense of responsibility to guide, it's always present. It's always present.
How much does the audience influence that? Like, do you walk into an auditorium and look out and say, all right, we're doing something completely different?
Absolutely. Okay. Because it's not about me.
Right.
I'm here to give a gift. If nothing else, even if I sound like hell, if I can make you laugh and feel better, this is just this is not the end. This is a means to the end. This is the piece to get us somewhere else. The music is not it. It's just a form of communication to get us a higher understanding of something else, and that is feel good, shine, no matter what. And so like I said, my goal all the time, how can we make everybody feel better? How is it that they can leave here feeling better than they did when they came? That's the job.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
So you grew up in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I grew up 9 miles south of Philadelphia in Chester, Pennsylvania. Okay. Daddy, he said, you better make that clear. You know, I'm in Dubai somewhere. And they're like, where are you from? And I say, Philadelphia. You know, I can't say Chester. Like, well, huh? Oh, okay. No, but Chester, PA.
Well, okay, let me ask you this, since he obviously is the one who wants you to be clear about that.
Yes, right.
Aside from geography, is there something culturally different? Because, I mean, Philadelphia, I ask because Philadelphia is a musical town.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, coming up in the 60s, 70s, all the way up into the 80s.
Absolutely. Chester is just, it's a part of it. It is the same thing, you know, Gamble and Huff, you know, I mean, it's just 9 miles away. It's the same thing. We eat in the same place and do all the same thing, go to the same churches. Yeah. You know, I sang with the Wilmington Chester Mass Choir. Most of the musicians were from Philly proper, but, you know, it's the same thing.
So did that Philly sound then inspire you coming up?
Absolutely,
yes?
Absolutely. I was a product of WDAS FM.
Legendary
at the time,
radio
I think it was
station.
105.3, and then Power 99 FM. So all this, I remember hearing, he was not from Philly, but that sound, Peebo Bryson was always playing, Patty was always playing. What's his name? Teddy Pendergrass was always on the radio. You know what I mean? So absolutely, I am a product of that.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think we're around the same age. So I wonder, like, when I was growing up, we were listening to like Luther and Anita.
Absolutely.
And everyone thought I was so strange because I'm listening to all this soul music, and you know, hip hop was just starting to come up as well. So they're like, why is this young girl listening to all these love songs? Okay.
Absolutely. Which is the same story here. You know, I had my boyfriend at the time who was from West Philly. I was too young to even know what all that was all about, but he was into Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul and Public Enemy and all. I'm like, that's cool, but did you check out Oleta Adams? You know, they're like, we don't know. You know what I mean?
Right,
so I'm with you, absolutely.
Yeah, but
absolutely.
were you influenced at all by that? Because that movement was
loved
strong.
it.
Okay.
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but Pasta News from De La Soul, yes, because he was so cute. But yes, you know, I had who was it? Eric B. and Rakim. That's when we had the tapes, right?
Cassettes.
We had cassettes. Yes, but it was for me on a very surface level. For me, I was much more interested in instrumental music.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you know, rap was cool. You know, for the percussion of it all, but I want to hear some chords. I want to hear, you know, Anita doing. I want to hear some, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, we're going to hear some of that then. So why don't we get right on into it?
I love it.
When you said you needed space, I just wasn't in a place where I could hear what you meant when you said it. Oh, I took it out of context, baby, and got up in out of shape. So angry till I started thinking about the sins that it didn't make. It was all in my head. All the things that you said, I changed them around in my head. I listen not to my heart, but to my mind instead. Sensitive and warm, that's the way I am. That's the way I was born. You know, doubts and insecurities make it hard for me to feel things I should. I took it out of context, baby, and got up in out of shape. So angry till I started thinking about sins that it didn't make. It's all in my head. All the things that you said, I changed them around in my head. I listen not to my heart, but to my mind instead. Made something out of nothing. I made a mountain out of molehill. It's so sad that all the baggage I had make me feel things that weren't real. It was all in my head. It was all in my head. It was all in my head. I made it all up in my mind. Oh, baby. Oh,
All right, Avery Sunshine. Okay, before I let you go,
Yeah.
I have 3 questions
Okay.
that I ask all of the artists that hang out with me inside the Soul Lounge.
Yes.
Okay, we call it sort of what's in your ear, but
Okay.
we'll call it kind of what's on the piano since you're here, because I would love for you to play them for me, okay?
Okay.
So, it is, we talked about this earlier, it's Sunday afternoon,
Yeah.
and you're cleaning the house, vacuuming, washing dishes, folding laundry, whatever the case may be. What is playing on, I would say the record player, because that's, old school, but what are you listening
player,
to?
On the record player. What am I listening to? Maybe...
If I could, I'd give you the world, wrap it all around you.
Miss Anita Baker, yeah.
You're my angel.
Yes, all right.
Oh, yeah, come on, record player.
All right.
Yes.
So, you hanging out at my house then, because that's what we're listening to.
that's
All right.
right.
Okay, so it's Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
You and your boo just came from a wonderful dinner.
Yeah.
And we're going to turn the lights down a little bit. It's time to get romantic. You put in that old school slow jam tape, or maybe new school. I don't know.
Old school.
Maybe
Yeah.
new school.
Uh-huh.
Maybe your own. I don't know. Do you play for your boo? I mean, what are you listening to?
No, he'd be letting me like, that's weird. But I do, because I put this in my show because I listen to it so much. When this album came out, I was in college. You're my lady. Yeah, if he could sing, he would sing that to me. You're my lady. Now, I would respond. I would say something like this. You love me especially different every time. You keep me on my feet happily.
Okay, a little D'Angelo, Jill Scott.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, music has the ability to lift us up,
Yeah.
especially in those times when things either internally just seem too much or externally out in the world.
Absolutely.
So, in those times when you just need something to hold on to musically, what do you grab hold of?
One of the things is I always think of Donny Hathaway, and he did an arrangement of Carole King's When You're Down and Troubled and you need some love and care and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest nights. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, yeah, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, yeah. All you've got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yeah. You've got a friend.
Indeed. The album is called The Sunroom.
The Sunroom.
Avery Sunshine, it's such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
The honor is mine.
Mwah, you are wonderful. Thank you.
Can I bring something up? Don't mean to be confrontational. but lately we haven't made time to be conversational. Don't hear sweet nothings, no more. I guess life has gotten in the way. Yeah, yes. How in the world could this happen to us? We used to have so much to say. Tell me, babe, when was the last time you heard me call you sweet darling? And when was the last time I heard you say, hey, baby? Hey, yes, it's been such a long time since you heard me call you sweet darling, yeah. And I just can't remember the last time you called my name, baby. I don't know where we went wrong, and I don't want these days to turn to years, baby. So I decided not to live this way, and I'm asking you through my tears. Tell me, babe, when was the last time you heard me call you sweet darling? Yeah. And when was the last time I heard you say, hey, baby? Hey, it's been such a long time since you heard me call you sweet darling, yes. And I just can't remember the last time you called my name, baby. Hello, my love, sweet baby. That's all I really need to hear you say. Yeah, I just want you to call my name, babe. It's been such a long, long time, and I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Call my name. I can't remember, baby. It's been such a long, long time. And I just can't remember the last time you called my name.
Thank you once again for joining us inside the Soul Lounge. I hope you enjoyed Avery Sunshine as much as I did, and I can't wait to bring you yet another artist on the rise. But until then, take care of yourselves and each other.